Desensitize, jam, convert. It is your conversion that is their goal. This is the Life Given Podcast. I'm your host, Isaac Lopez. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Life Given Podcast, your Christian conversational guide to current events, as we try to keep you updated in a very brief podcast format. If you are new to the show, welcome. It's good to have you with us. And if you are starting to make this part of your morning routine or part of your daily routine, I'm very happy to have you back with us as well. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Babysitters Club. It was a very popular 1990s television series. It was based off of a 1980s and 90s book series. I think I watched maybe one movie or one of their shows growing up. Okay, I don't think I watched much beyond the original. I think there was a movie they made, but I recently reported on this, actually, and I'll link to the article in the description because I'm going to be pulling from some of that information that I reported on. But in episode 4 of this Netflix reboot, because they have to reboot everything, and they have updated a few things. Because in 1990, you would not have seen this, but in 1990, we were 30 years into the goal of the homosexual movement. In 1960, there was this book published, I believe, and I'm pulling from memory here, because there was a strategy released by two professors that said if homosexuality is going to be accepted in the United States, this is how you have to go about it. And part of their strategy is what is called desensitization, jamming, conversion. And it is all, and the majority of it, the first step is through the use of media. And basically, it is to introduce characters or introduce themes that have to do with homosexuality. Now, all of the LGBTQ movement as favorable in shows and advertising and all of that until you kind of get used to it being there. Kind of almost like adultery. Like, you can see that sin painted more favorably in movies. And then I think the LGBTQ crowd just saw the same strategy and ran with it. So that is desensitizing. It's like just getting the American public used to the idea of this thing, of whatever it is. And in this case, it includes homosexuality. The second thing is jamming. It is to kind of like what we've seen in the culture today regarding masks and regarding the coronavirus, making it so that way not every American has to believe in in making homosexuality legal by law, but you have to have enough that you make them feel bad about their stance, right? And the third is conversion. The goal is to have the average American to understand and to submit to this new ideology. And so Netflix, that's just kind of like to give you context of my issue with this. And obviously there's an issue, but it's important because Netflix, has 190 million viewers according to one of their websites, according to their media sites. It has 190 viewers in like 60 different countries. That's a lot of people watching this. That's a lot of people taking in this kind of garbage. And before I play you the clip, just as a setup, we'll get back around. That was kind of a rabbit trail, but it was an important rabbit trail. Okay, so just hang with me. The fourth episode in the Babysitters Club includes an updated storyline that, like I said, would not have happened in the 1990s. But we are now 6 years completely removed from the writing of that book, relating this strategy to us. And So now you get in what used to be an innocent story about 4 or 5 girls running a club that helps people coordinate with babysitters, now involves a transgendered child, now involves an actual transgender, because I believe the actor who plays or actress, whatever, who plays this character is an actual transgender um, from Texas. I believe his name is Stan Bailey. So there's a scene that captures it quite well, and there's a couple. Netflix made a very big deal about it on Twitter, but these were scenes in there before they made a big deal about it on Twitter that are celebrating the use of transgenderism in their special. So the scene I want to show you here has the babysitter, I think Marianne, showing some of her confusion, or just sharing some of her confusion with one of her friends. And her friend gives this very helpful breakdown. Here you go.
To make you do everything with your left hand, it would be super weird, right? Are you right-handed or left-handed? Right. And you've known this since you were little? Pretty much. And if someone tried to make you do everything with your left hand, it would be super weird, right? If I tried to use scissors, I'd definitely stab myself. Well, that's how Bailey feels. The same way that you know that you're right-handed, Bailey knows she's a girl. And we all want our outsides to match our insides, right? Yeah. And it's rad to have parents and a babysitter who get it. She's really lucky. You seem to know a lot about this stuff. Well, I am from California.
At least they acknowledge that, I guess.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
So some pretty heavy preaching there, right? I mean, just like, this is the good that you want. Anyway, here's the one that really kind of gets your blood pumping a little bit, and gets your blood pounding. This following clip, Marianne, Bailey have a rush to the hospital because Bailey has a fever. Marianne's trying to care for her. A doctor and nurse come in, they misgender her, and this happens.
I hear someone's not feeling well.
Okay. Took a while, but we finally found a file for a Bailey Del Vecchio. Is 32 Burn Hill Road still the current address? Yeah. Have you been giving him fluids? If he's dehydrated, we'll need to place an IV. Have him change into this.
I hear someone's not feeling well. Let's take a look at the little man.
Can I please talk to you two outside? I know that you guys are busy, but as you would see, if you looked at her and not her chart, Bailey is not a boy. And by treating her like one, you are completely ignoring who she is. You're making her feel insignificant and humiliated. And that's not going to help her feel good or safe or calm. So, from here on out, please recognize her for who she is. And if at all possible, could you find me a non-blue hospital gown?
Oh, nice. What a great great way to start off your Friday morning. I'm so happy you got to watch that with me. Yeah, so besides that being very heavy-handed television, I've taken a couple film classes and a couple writers classes in, like, that's like rule one that they broke. Like, you're supposed to show and not tell, and there was a whole lot of telling, and there's a lot of preaching. If she had an organ, she might have played it if she believes in that kind of thing. Anyway, this is part of their desensitization, because transgenderism has been allowed, has been welcomed and glorified in our society for years already. But Netflix went on to tweet. This is following Marianne's friend, lecturing her and helping her understand, helping her become more enlightened. They tweeted right after a quote, "The simple breakdown gives the show's young viewers a powerful tool to shape their worldview. Maybe the children really are our future." So their goal is you, the next generation, the one growing up right now, and they aren't hiding it. It's been part of their strategy. And why is this important? Because it's important because they want the average American to convert to what they have, to their belief system. So this is really like a heads up episode. Watch out, because this kind of stuff can slide into what you might have thought is a harmless reboot. I think that there are plenty of good movie review sites out there that would make it quite clear and help you make your decision. But just a heads up, because there's a lot of stuff out there that might really convince a younger audience. So it's just stuff you got to keep aware and keep tabs on. And this is just part of their scheme. That's part of their plan. So to finish off this Friday episode, a little free thought on your Friday as you get ready for the weekend. I often, when thinking about what to talk about during the segment, there's a lot that I feel like could be talked about, but it would really just be like a very like thinly filmed, thinly veiled current events topic. But really, this one is kind of a current events topic. But if you guys have not watched the sermon or listened to the sermon that John MacArthur preached, I think about a week and a half ago now, at Grace Community Church in California, you should go watch it, because truly it helps ground us back as Christians in reality, and ground us back in just how difficult this time is. But he makes such a great point that this is not a low point for the church. Rather, this is a time when the church figure out what it believes, figures out what they believe, and irons it down and whittles it down to a point. And he makes it clear that the church does not serve God. It does not serve man. It serves God. Just dodge that bullet. And it really just helps kind of remind the listener and those in the congregation that we are bound together by Christ. And that bond is stronger than any bond you will find in the world. And I think that is such a helpful reminder to remember in this time when current events just seem to be going south and seem to be going wrong all the time. And it's really the negative stuff that gets coverage, and that kind of stuff can really wear oneself down. So if you have the opportunity, I would go and listen to that. If you need to, put it on double speed, but it's an hour well worth spent after 4 or 5 months of being spent. If you enjoyed what you have heard today, this week, the last month, please like and subscribe. I can't believe that we are at the end of July here. But truly, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback are truly helpful. If you'd like to get in touch with me, I'm on Instagram and Parler. On Instagram @_TLG podcast _ on Parler @TLG podcasts, on Facebook The Life Given News, or my Facebook group, The Life Given Podcast Conversation, where first of all, you can keep track of this podcast as it goes out, not lose it in your news feed. Just join that group and you'll get notified. But also, if you have any feedback for me, post in that discussion group and we can talk about it. As always, remember that the life that you have been given and the life that you have received includes every area of life. The Babysitters Club is no exception. God bless.